The Mobile Mindshift is a new book that Forrester will launch June the 24th. And this is all about the notion that mobile has changed not just the way we live and communicate, but also our expectations. And so we've all experienced that as individuals. The challenge is that most brands and most companies haven't yet made their own mind shift. So that's what the book is about, and I'm going to share a preview of that in a couple of minutes.
Great. But you have also a little present for the audience. You can win a copy yourself, I guess, today. So if you want to win this book, it's quite easy. You go to Twitter, you use the hashtag #MyMobileMoment and the hashtag of this conference, and maybe you will be announced as the lucky bastard in the closing ceremony, and then you will get the copy before it's even on Amazon.com. So that will be pretty cool, I guess. So enjoy the presentation of Thomas. It will be about the mobile mind shift. Engineer your business to win the mobile moments. Enjoy, Thomas.
Thank you very much, Bernd, and thank you to Mobile Convention Amsterdam for having me here and giving Forrester the opportunity to share a preview of our upcoming research. I think the most important fact is that mobile is not just yet another digital channel. Mobile is a catalyst for business transformation. I believe mobile will be more disruptive than anything before, driving more changes than the PC or the web. And the Mobile Mindshift explains what it means for companies to meet new customers' expectations, the fact that mobile has reprogrammed our brains. But before I share with you some ways to engage customers in the mobile moments, let's step back. Let's step back 7 years ago. I don't know if you remember precisely what you were doing that day, May 22nd, 2007. I don't either. But at that time, I was already an analyst at Forrester looking at mobility. It was exciting, no doubt about it. But it was not as fascinating as it is today. At that time, there was no iPhone, no Android. Twitter did not exist. Facebook was barely 9 months old as an open public website. And Google had acquired YouTube for about 9 months. And when you look at what happened in the meantime, it is pretty amazing to recognize the fact that there are no more than 2 billion smartphones worldwide. And just to put this stat in perspective, it's not just about the devices, it's about the services and the experiences that you can build on top of smartphones. It took Apple 2 years to sell 1 million iPods. It took them 3 days to sell 9 million of the latest iPhone 5 devices. And obviously, this is not just about the devices. This is about the app ecosystem that's built on top of the platform in the same way iTunes disrupted the entire music industry. I mentioned Facebook was only 9 months old as an open public website. Well, they now have over 1 billion mobile monthly active users, huge audience, meaning you can no longer conceive a social strategy that does not have a mobile component. YouTube. Anyone has a guess of the share of their traffic coming from mobile devices? 35. You're almost there. The latest official stat that they have announced was 40%. 40%. What's amazing is that it was only 6% in 2011. Huge growth. Same thing if you look at mobile commerce. You may think of PayPal as a pure player, an internet company. We believe they're simply a payment provider. They are entering the physical offline retail space. And back in 2011, they generated $4 billion worth of mobile transactions. That was in 2011. At the end of last year, so 2 years later, end of 2013, they generated $27 billion worth of mobile transactions. And I could go on and share many more stats, but many of you already know these stats. And this is, I think, not really capturing the strategic impact of mobility. Mobile is not just changing the way we live and communicate, it is changing our expectations. And the best way to capture this is probably to share with you a picture that is actually on the dust jacket of our upcoming book. And you may already have seen this picture because it circulated quite a lot on social media. I see a couple of faces nodding and saying, yeah, we know this picture. It was taken actually back in 2005. It was taken about a year ago in St. Peter's Square in Roma, for those of you who are not familiar with the picture. And it was, the crowd in Roma had experienced both a social experience and a mobile moment. All of a sudden, when the new Pope appeared for the first time on the balcony, they raised their smartphones to record that moment and share it across the world through Facebook, Wine, Instagram, Nimbus, WhatsApp, and the likes. This was a mobile moment, a point in time and space when people take up their mobile devices to get what they need in their immediate context. And many of us have dozens, hundreds of mobile moments per day. Mobile phones have become the remote control of our daily lives. Whether it's about checking your emails, accessing real-time information on Twitter, making transactions, and many, many, many other moments that you have throughout the day. And this is what the mobile Mindshift is about. The expectation that I can get what I want in my immediate context and moments of need. The people that day in Roma were able to share their social experience in real life, in real time, through mobile devices. Why? Because mobile is the bridge to the physical world. It brings the internet to the physical world. You can retrieve a lot of information through sensors, a lot of contextual data about what's around us here at MCA. The hotels, the shops, the speed at which you're moving, what's the weather like around you, enabling you not just to interact with people in real time, based on the location, but also to start predicting their behaviors, their next likely actions, by aggregating some of this data and crowdsourcing it. Of course, it will raise some concerns because retrieving contextual and personal data and receiving some push notifications in real time may be perceived as intrusive. And that's why we believe privacy is going to be the next battleground in the mobile space. We all know mobile devices are the most intimate devices we own and use. I think it's one thing to know it, it's another to experience it. So we're going to do a small exercise. I know you have smartphones, so I'm going to ask you to take them out of your jackets, pants, bags, what have you. Right? I'm going to ask you to simply type your 4-digit password and unlock your screen. You done? And I'm going to ask you to simply switch it to your neighbor. How do you feel? Strange feelings, right. So you know what I mean when I'm referring to experiencing something intimate. Your pictures, your apps, it's all about you in this place. And your mobile phone knows a lot more about you than you think. But while it will raise privacy concerns, I think it's not about thinking of it as, Big Brother tracking you. Think about it more as Big Mother somehow, taking care of your own experience, individualizing, personalizing, contextualizing this experience. To make this happen, however, companies will have to realize that mobile is going to change the beating heart of their businesses. What I mean by that is that it's not just about the device and applications interactions. It's about how mobile is changing our expectations, All these moments that I referred earlier that we have when we want to access real-time information and do many more things, get things done quickly. On average, people touch their smartphones 150 times per day. That's when they touch their screens that the challenge begins. Because as companies, you have to make your own mobile mind shift. Meaning, you'll have to re-engineer your platforms, your processes, your people to be able to deliver these contextualized and personalized experiences. The mobile moment happens here, at this very moment when you're touching the screen. And it's all about understanding what's the context of that person. What are his or her motivations, his or her needs in that precise moment when you want to engage with that person. And let me share an example of what that could mean in the airline industry, for example. It's about serving customers, your best customers, in their mobile moments. So if you're flying with KLM, for example, if you're connecting to their app, if it's 2 days prior to going to the airport, it is very likely that your next likely action will be to change your reservation or view your seat reservation. But if it's 2 hours before boarding, what you care the most about when you connect to the app is to check the gate, the departure time, or potentially, if you have a frequent flyer status, to get access to some more personalized services. And this goes on throughout the customer journey. Some airline companies are providing Wi-Fi in flight. So if it's a long flight, it is very likely that you'll want to access some information about your destination, maybe do some business emails, or simply entertain and have access to some different kind of services. And this goes on throughout the customer journey. When you arrive, the thing you care the most about is getting your luggage, move out from the airport and go to your next destination. So that's just one example. Looks simple, right, on the paper. That's where the challenge also begins, because the hard work starts here when it comes to engineering your platforms, your processes, and your people to be able to deliver these contextual experiences. You'll have to atomize many of the processes into simple tasks that can be performed in the platform, peeking into the backend systems, the reservation systems, the booking systems, the flight systems, and so on. That's definitely a key challenge that most companies are facing nowadays. And to be able to deliver on this, you'll have to build systems of engagement, retrieve a lot of information, insights from the devices themselves, but not just from smartphones, also from a bunch of other channels. Think about social listening platforms and what people are saying about your brands, the affinity they have with your products. But also increasingly about connected products, the Internet of Things, the Google Glass or the wearables or the likes of Fitbit or what have you. Connect this with all what you know about your customers. The systems of records, that is to say their past behaviors, their past purchases, the preferences they have expressed to you. Connect the dots with this and with public as a service capabilities. Think of maps, open data made available by governments, or simply what's the weather like today in Amsterdam, so that you can start building an algorithm and predict actually what's the next likely actions of consumers, so that you're in a position to deliver this context-rich mobile moments. So obviously, this is not going to happen overnight. This is complex, and this requires some investment. This is the reason why we believe mobile will drive the largest and the biggest re-engineering of firms since the PC. It's not just about the top of the iceberg, like designing a mobile app or a mobile website. It's all what below the sea level that you guys can't see in the back, and that I'm going to explain in a minute. It's about processes. It's about analytics. It's about having open APIs. It's about new forms of governance. It's about hiring new people, new skills in customer design, in app development, and so on. This requires significant investment. And just to give you a sense of companies that are embracing the mobile Mindshift, the level of investments that they're putting to put these systems of engagement in place beyond mobile, Nike and the likes of Morgan Stanley are spending more than hundreds of millions of dollars over the next couple of years to re-engineer these systems to be able to deliver these context-rich mobile moments. No later than 3 weeks ago, the CEO of Home Depot announced, a retailer in the US, for those of you who are not familiar with this brand, he announced that his company would invest $1.5 billion, not just for mobile, but mobile as a catalyst invests in the systems of engagements to deliver these experiences and deliver new experiences to consumers. That's a lot of money, right? $1.5 billion. Now, the challenge is, where do you start? How do you build a business case for this? How do you deliver these new experiences, right? And one way to do this is to have a disciplined approach. And we've created, as part of this Mobile Mindshift book, a methodology that can help you put this in place. We refer this to the IDEA cycle. IDEA is an acronym that stands for identify, design, engineer, and analyze. That's a discipline to win in the mobile moment. The first step is about identifying the mobile moments and context. Like in the example from the airline industry. What are people's motivations, context, needs? And to do this, you'll probably need some new tools, like customer journey mapping, behavioral data, ethnographic research. That's the first step. Understanding your customers, their behaviors, and their attitudes towards mobility. Once you've gone through this step, it's about designing the mobile moment, designing the mobile engagement. That's the step where you put together designers, business people, marketers, developers, all together so that you can figure out how to engage people in their mobile moments. The third step is about engineering your platforms, your processes, your systems to be able to scale these initiatives and contextualize services. Last but not least is the analyze phase. It's about analyzing results to monitor performance and optimize outcomes. Huge importance of analytics and data here. And if you think you're done, you're wrong. Because this is a never-ending cycle. Mobile is a never-ending cycle of constant iterations. That's why you better start small and then build a platform to extend upon. That may look a bit theoretical. That's just a framework, a methodology to build, to win within mobile moments. Let me share with you a couple of examples of companies that are doing this, that are really winning in the mobile moment. You're probably going to recognize a lot of familiar logos here from, Uber, Square, Mopub, WhatsApp, and so on. Many mobile-first companies, many startups that were created 2-3 years ago, sometimes less. Many of them valuated more than hundreds of millions of dollars, some of them billions, up to $19 billion for WhatsApp. Huge amount of money because they were able to leverage digital platforms, iOS, Android, and all these ecosystems to reach out global audiences and to build better experiences that are actually disrupting many existing and established businesses. And you may think, well, this is just, these are just startups and they're not going to impact us. I frankly would recommend you look carefully at all these new players that are emerging in the mobile space because they are starting to disrupt existing businesses. And some larger organizations, it's not just about startups, making their own mobile mind shift. A good example is McDonald's. McDonald's in France they actually have leveraged mobile as a catalyst, not just for digital transformation, but for business transformation. You can now order a Big Mac or whatever food you want directly on your smartphone, your tablet, wherever you are, whenever you want to. And then pick it up, not just in 1, 2, 5, or 10 restaurants. This is not a pilot. This is available nationwide in 1,200 restaurants. And this is a way for McDonald's to connect with individuals, to better understand their behaviors, and to be able to personalize the offerings that they're going to make to them. It's a shift. Imagine the importance of the training, the processes. You'll have to change your core operations and systems to be able to develop this nationwide. Another example is actually from Philips here in the Netherlands. They had service to connect products via mobile moments. They recently launched this home cooker Next. This is one of the 5 product concepts that they launched. These products are connected. It enables them to create a bridge with consumers. In that particular case, the cooker can send push notifications to you to let you know when you need to pay attention to the pot. Add some more salt, add some carrots, turn down the temperature, and moving forward, they will have more value by adding, recipes, cooking lessons, nutrition elements, so that at the end of the day, they can turn their products into services. And this required a cultural shift, because product marketers tend to think about their products as something finite. They've launched it and then that's it. But when you deliver a service, you have to constantly look at the data, analyze it, and act upon it to deliver services. So it enhances the value of the products. And so you will find in this book many other examples and case studies of companies who are embracing that shift. But we believe whatever your industry, you will be disrupted by the mobile revolution. And you have a choice. Either you serve your customers in their mobile moments, or someone else will. The payoff of making the mobile Mindshift is to be present in the mobile moments of your customers and employees so that they don't turn to someone else. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Give him a big hand. So if you're curious about this topic, please tweet my mobile moments and maybe you win the book. If you have some questions, we have time for 2 more questions at the moment. Is there somebody with a great question at the moment? Anybody? Yeah, there is. 2 of them. We start with the guy in the front row and then further down row.
Yeah, my name is Vincent Everts. I'm no Forrester of great presentations with great statistics. This presentation could be held 5 years ago. And all the features you've mentioned and all the examples you had, we had 5 years ago. What is really now the big shift? What is it really now happening now, which is so different?
So, first comment, there are obviously thousands and thousands of statistics that you can access to. It's just, the point here is just to set the scene for the whole conference and not to share specific data points. The difference versus 5 years ago is that we're no longer at a pilot stage where companies are actually implementing and investing significantly in this. However, the majority are not answering what the new expectations that mobile is creating. You may have a different perspective, and I know you're front runner with the Google glasses here, but at this stage, I think that's the real opportunity for now. And I think that, I don't know, that many of these companies here are just piloting and do not necessarily have a strategy in place, understanding how mobile can help them serve their corporate goals. That's at least Forrester's perspective, and that's the reason why we're publishing a stream of research and looking at all the evolution of the mobile space in the years to come.
Thank you. Question over there.
My name is Adi van der Giezen. I like your presentation a lot. But yesterday was on the news, really something really strange. I believe e-commerce will be going mobile. But on the news yesterday was WhatsApp is used by 20% in the Netherlands, social media 20%, and 50% is used their smartphones for games. So what do you think about it? That 90% of the people doesn't do any mobile shopping or e-commerce on their mobile phones.
Right. So I think the real value of mobile is not just about, don't think of m-commerce as e-commerce on smartphones. Because you have your phones always with you, and because mobile is the bridge to the physical world, people are starting to research product and information on mobile devices. It is enhancing their shopping experiences when they are in the stores, and you can engage with them at different moments of the day. Mobile commerce is growing very fast and skyrocketing, but the even bigger opportunity is the ability to engage with shoppers throughout the customer journey. And I do believe this is going to be a massive shift. Some retailers already are experiencing 40–50% of their traffic coming from mobile devices. And while it was a nice-to-have approach a couple of years ago, it is now a must-have approach because they realize that the conversion rates on smartphones, when you don't optimize the experience, is lower. So if you've got half of your traffic coming from mobile devices and lower conversion rates, you have serious business issues, which is why a lot of the retailers and the likes of Home Depot are investing significantly to solve that problem beyond the direct transactions generated on mobile devices.
Thank you very much. And we have a little present for you.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy it.
Thank you very much. And I had just one comment, actually one question for you. If you guys want to participate, we're launching a global mobile executive survey, and that would be one way to benchmark your approach. So if you're interested in participating in this is an online questionnaire, and we'll get back to you with the results. Thank you very much, Bernd.
You're welcome. Enjoy your day.